Hey, I'm Pera Perez, artist of Spider-Woman.
And I'm Carla Pacheco, writer of Spider-Woman.
You're listening To Know Her is to Fear Her.
The Spider-Woman Podcast.
Hi, Jessica.
Who the hell are you?
The woman who's going to save your life.
Welcome back to Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. We're your hosts, Seren and Rey.
Hey, hello everybody. Seren, I'm very happy and excited to be back with you to be able to deliver another Spider-Woman episode.
I am too. I apologize, everyone. I had to go under for a little bit. Rey had to carry the torch.
Oh no, I hobbled along, but it's great to have you back, Seren. Grinning from ear to ear. Can't wait to get into it.
I'm so happy to be back. Little bit of some quick news. The Secret Invasion is tonight. So by the time this goes live, you may have caught Dimension 20, which is another D&D podcast. Anjali, who of Miss Marvel fame, Anjali Bhamani. I probably misspelled her name. I'm so sorry. She played one of the aunties in Miss Marvel, and she has been on the D20 Instagram tonight, taking over the Instagram, and she is literally Instagramming live from the red carpet at the Secret Invasion premiere. She looks stunning, and it is so cool. So yeah, it's been pretty fun to watch all day. Like, she just had her day, and then she was getting all gussied up for the red carpet premiere, and now she's on the red carpet as we speak. It's really fun to watch. It's pretty cool. Hopefully one of the D&D fans, or one of the Critters, because Critters and D20 fans have a lot of crossover. Hopefully one of them will get her whole Instagram up and running so everyone can see it.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting, Seren. There's so much happening. It's almost overwhelming in a good way. I mean, so we've got that coming up. Of course, that's a fantastic reminder. By the time this comes out, Secret Invasion is out. But Seren, I know we talked about it before. I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I'm so behind. I was wanting to ask you, might as well try and do some like non-spoilery reviews and feedback. What's your impression of Across the Spider-Verse?
I loved it. Great movie. Issa Rae as Jessica Drew was fantastic.
Awesome.
I have some rather major nitpicks about Jessica's power set, which we've already discussed on the show. And I'm going to spoil that and say it's been confirmed, y'all. She does not have her zappy zaps. For Venom Blasts. Okay. I'm going to confirm it and spoil it all for you. Sorry to disappoint you all. Go in. Other than that, I did not let that little tidbit ruin the movie for me. It was excellent. Jess is not in it very much, but what she is in, she's very good.
Awesome.
So, yeah, really, really enjoyable movie. I actually liked it better than the first one, and the first one was excellent. So,
wow, that is a huge testament. And I've got to concur, so to speak. I haven't seen it, but Seren, sticking with the Across the Spider-Verse kind of news, some of you Spider Babies will have picked up. I posted on Discord. I picked up my Jessica Drew action figure, Legends figure.
Oh, I didn't get mine yet. I got to get mine. She's in my cart in Amazon. I gotta get her.
Yeah, she looks so cool. I'm just holding it now in my hands. You can hear the packaging.
I can hear her.
She looks really cool. I can't wait to watch the movie. And I was talking to the retailer, what do you call it, shopkeeper, when I picked it up, and she was saying how much she loved Across the Spider-Verse as well. Pretty much echoing what you said, Seren, about it being better than the first one, and she absolutely loved the first one. So I can't wait. It sounds
very good.
good on all
Very
fronts.
good.
And
Yeah.
animation, kind of like the cinematography. She was telling me about this scene, Sharon, and this is no spoiler. I mean, it's just a shot. She was telling me about a scene where they were, I think it's Miles and Gwen, they're both upside down, but
Yeah.
it's kind of shown normal
Yeah.
view. So you got the city above them, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
really,
really
really
good.
cool.
What the art was phenomenal because, and I don't think this is a spoiler either, and I can't recall if they did this in Into the Spider-Verse, but like each spider has its own animation style, and when you see them in their universe, it matches the comic book art. So the Gwen if you're familiar with Robbie Rodriguez's art from the Spider-Gwen series, the art when Gwen is in her universe reflects that. And I think, and there are some moments like in the story where you're literally looking at a moving comic book page.
That's so
It
cool.
is so fantastic what they have done. And speaking of Jess and her motorcycle outfit, we all know she's in her motorcycle outfit. Chris Anka is one of the character designers he designed Jessica's outfit in the comics. He was actually one of the character designers on the movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Really cool. Really cool. Highly go see it. I'm sorry if I spoiled anything for you, but other than the one thing that we all kind of knew going in anyway, I don't feel like it's much of a spoiler. Neither is the art. The art, like if this movie doesn't win all the Oscars for animation, what are they even doing? It's good.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I know, our beloved Spider Baby patrons as well. I know at least Jess has seen it, and she's on Twitter.
Regularity has seen it as well. Yep.
Just saying how good it is. So
yeah, it's been real good. I know I've been quiet on Twitter, guys. I'm sorry. Wants me a little bit. But yeah. So it was really, really good.
One thing I noticed. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say one thing I noticed on the box here. I'm looking. It does say Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. So I understand there's at least another one. This is the first half. Is that right, Seren? Does it close at the end, or is it open to It's
a cliffhanger.
Okay, awesome.
And also, there is no end credit scene. Stay through the first part of the credits. They're really pretty to watch because it's all animated. But then after that, there's no end credit scene on this. They just let it simmer.
Oh, okay.
Because of that ending.
That's okay.
Because the way it ends, they gotta let you simmer. So I think an end credit would have ruined it. So just you gotta let the ending of this movie you gotta let it simmer because it's pretty freaking rad. It's really good.
Awesome. I'm half tempted to pretend and predict, but I don't want to, just in case I somehow hit the mark, which I don't think I will, but I'll just let it lie. Cliffhangers, that sounds great. So Spider Babies, go check it out if you haven't. I'm sure it's going to be in the cinemas for a while yet. It seems to be going great guns. I think it's
it's cleaning up. It's cleaning up in the box office right now. It's absolutely cleaning up.
Sony must love this. I mean, this is their jewel in their crown, really. I mean, the first one was really good as well, so they're going to be cashing in on it, and we're going to be lapping it up because we love it so much too.
Yep. And we're also getting, because of this movie, keep in mind, guys, and keep your eye out on the radar, we are getting an animated Spider-Women movie. So,
yes. Which I think we talked about, right? Ages ago.
I think, and I think it might be coming before the second.
Okay.
The sequel to this one, I think it's going to be like a middle ground one, and that's going to be Jess and Gwen and Cindy, I think. But Cindy, I did not see in this movie.
Oh, okay. What's happening to her?
Which is interesting. There has not been a Cindy. There has not been a Cindy Moon that I saw. I mean, there are so many spiders. We even got Spider Rex, which our dear Carla and Pere Perez did. He showed up. Spider Rex showed up. So, warning, I guess, sorry. But I didn't see Cindy anywhere. You even saw a couple of, you did see even a little bit of an OG Jess running with all the other spiders, even though she wasn't. But, I did not see Cindy, which I thought was interesting.
Do you know what's happening with her? Wasn't she going to get a series from...
She did have a series. I don't know I can't recall if it's ongoing. Guys, I've been so far out of the comics lately. I'm so sorry.
I'm talking about there was a wasn't it like a TV show that she was going to get?
Yeah,
Silk?
for Sony, like a Sony TV show, but I don't know where that's
Yeah.
staying. I know they're working on Madam Web currently, so I don't know where that's at either. But we know Jess isn't in it.
Yeah, I think that was from memory. It was originally going to be posted March 2024. I think it's been pushed to May. I think that's from the top of my head. So it's been delayed slightly. But what hasn't been? I mean, there are a lot of.
Well, probably all the strikes going on right now, so people get paid fairly. Which support your local writers, guys. They're gone dark.
Exactly.
Reddit went dark even too for a reason. I can't recall why. Something with Reddit terms of service, actually. So everyone's on strike now. Strike for everyone.
Strikes for everyone. You get a strike, and you get a strike.
Yep.
Yes, but Seren, are there any other bits of news? Sorry, before we dive in.
If you pre-ordered your Spider-Woman in the Carla, the black suit Spider-Woman from Hasbro Pulse, she'll be coming out again in a couple months. Or next month, I think she's due to ship. What else?
Yeah, well, with that one, just a note on that, because I did ask the retailer when I did pick up this other Legends figure, because the black suit, it should in Australia at least. She said it'd probably be a couple of months, so I don't know if it might be a little bit earlier in the US.
Well, I pre-ordered her back in March, so and it's telling me the end of July, beginning of August. In other news, I was in my shop tonight, and they had the Spider-Woman mini for Crisis Protocol, and they had the Crystal mini for Crisis Protocol. And I don't play Crisis Protocol, but I was sorely tempted by those minis that would probably never ever get painted. But it was Jess and Crystal. Jess was packaged with Agent Venom, which I was like, yeah. However, Crystal was packaged with Lockjaw.
Oh yeah,
which is brilliant on behalf of Crisis Protocol, because Lockjaw is basically Crystal's dog, even though he's technically a black box dog. But whatever, he loves Crystal. Crystal's his favorite. That's canon. So yeah, it was very. I did not buy them. I could not justify buying them, but I didn't really need a justification. But I didn't buy them. But I probably will at some point, even though I don't play that game.
Do you know the concept of the game? Like I don't.
It's a minis game. I know this has to do with minis, but that's about all I know. I don't know what else. I could talk to you more about Marvel United when I start getting that up and rolling, because I've got the mini for that. Okay. I'm waiting for more of my sets to come in. I have the Spider-Woman mini for that. She's pretty cool. The other thing is the last issue of Captain Marvel is out tomorrow, which by the time you get this, it will have come out. So everyone go thank Kelly Thompson for her portrayal of the Jess and Carol friendship. She wrote a wonderful Spider-Woman, and actually even in an interview, Kelly Thompson said that out of all of Carol's supporting characters, Jess was her favorite to write.
Oh, no secrets there, I'm sure. Also, as well, just on top of that, I think the first volume of the Kelly Thompson omnibus for Captain Marvel has been released as well. So
I'll have to get that.
So if you like,
speaking of omnibuses, I'm going to cut you off there too. Yes. The Spider-Woman one's coming out. Well, it's the whole Dennis Hopeless one run.
Yeah, it's more like it's like a complete collection, right? It's not.
Yeah,
it's not hardcover. No.
No, I don't think so. But I'm going to be getting that. And sorry to interrupt you on the Kelly Thompson one, but it's not an omnibus, but it's about as close to an omnibus as we're going to get. So make sure I actually need to call my local comic shop because I haven't been there in a while. Sorry, Wade. I'm going to have to get there and make sure I get it because I need it. So I got to get in touch with him on that.
I'm waiting also for a complete collection for the Pacheco Parade run. I mean, that's doable. 21 issues.
Easy, they could do it. It's so good. Yeah. So, guys, hit up your local comic shop and say you want these things. At least the Dennis Hopeless run. If that's not out, it's going to be out soon. So make sure you pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. Please get in there. Yes, and support your local comic book store, of course, as well.
And I got my NYCC tickets. I just want to
Oh,
let you know that.
yes. Awesome. Yeah, you told me. I know my other co-host, Rebecca's going to San Diego. You're going to New York. My gosh, I'm living vicariously through both of you. I'm so happy for both
Yeah,
of you.
we'll
Should be
see
fun.
what happens. My Thursday's
Mhm.
already booked, and my Friday is partially booked already. Like with panels
Nice.
I want to go to. So I have a really weird. I'm looking at my little picture here, and I got some really weird silver thing showing through. But whatever.
Big question though, Seren. A big,
Mhm.
big important question. Are you
Mhm.
going to have a durable, robust backpack to see you through that?
Let me tell you about this backpack that has gotten me through New York Comic Con since 2017. I got this backpack from Walmart for $15. I have washed this backpack countless times. I have put so many heavy things in it, and it's great because it can fill it can fit an 11 by 17 inch sleeve for the hard sleeves that you could put posters in. It can fit that in it without having to
Awesome.
bend anything or anything like that. And then it opens right at the top. It's not like a left to right. Well, it opens at the top like in a square. It doesn't go from left to right, like, from side to side.
Yes.
It goes like in a square. So you can open it. It makes it so much easier. It's the best backpack I have ever owned in my life. I cannot find it because I should have bought two. I don't know why I didn't buy two, because it is the greatest backpack. The only other backpacks I've seen that are like this cost like $80, and they're specifically for like comic cons and art. And I have this backpack. It's got a laptop sleeve. It's got a smaller sleeve for a tablet that actually fits several comic books that are bagged and boarded perfectly in it. So I have the art sleeve, the comic book sleeve, and then the rest of the backpack, which is where I put all my snacks, because food is expensive, so I bring my own. So
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
it is the greatest backpack I have ever had. It has held up tremendously. It only cost me $15, and I'm so mad I didn't get a second one. And if someone from Walmart is ever listening to this, please do that backpack again. It is amazing.
I'll go one further, Walmart, if you are listening. Happy to have you as a sponsor too. Thank you. But Seren, is it on its last legs? I guess that's the question. No. Okay.
No, it's
perfect.
not. It's not.
Okay.
It had knocking on wood. You can hear me knocking on my desk right now.
Yeah. True. Okay. Because I was under the impression that you were looking for something. No. Okay.
Well, I always want to have a backup, and there is currently a Captain Marvel backpack, a Hot Topic, that is very nice, and is similar dimensions to my current backpack. But my current backpack has held up tremendously. It is a $15 backpack from Walmart, guys. It has been through hell and high water. It goes when I house sit, it goes with me. It goes to my Comic Cons with me. It is a carry-on bag when I go to the airport, which is very rare. It is fabulous. I have never had such a great backpack.
I'm getting visions of you doing like a military obstacle course with the backpack on, crawling under the barbed wire. The
Not
backpack is
sure it would hold up to that, but for what I have used it for, and I have overstuffed this thing with like clothes and all sorts of stuff. And I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot of use. It's not used like every day or anything like that, but I mean, 6 years, guys. Usually, not even a hole, not a stitch. It's been fabulous.
In bag years, that's like 42 years old. So it's very old for a bag. But
yeah. The only other bag I would expect to last as long as this is like a leather one. Like,
wow.
I was not expecting. Like, I was like, oh, it's a $15 bag that'll just get me through, and then I can find something nice. No, it's held up.
You don't want to get a leather bag.
I can rave about this bag all day. Yeah, I know. I don't want a leather bag.
They're too aloof, and they're kind of hoity-toity.
Or like I said, I spent $80 on one of those art bags. I'm like, why would I do that when I have the same? This bag has the exact same features that those like art bags do, like those art book bags for the
hipster bags.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even a hipster bag. It's just a. They have like a bag. I was looking for a similar bag. And it had all the same features as this one, and it was like $80. I was like, I'm not spending that. I got this for $15, and it's great. But you always have a backup just in case.
Yes, of course. No, absolutely. You need to, because you don't ever want to get me too.
Right, and I'm so upset that I never got myself a second one. It was only $15. It was like my first Comic-Con was 2016.
Yes.
So I got this the year later, like literally a week before the con, maybe 2 weeks before the con. And it's been so good. It's been like the best backpack.
Who do we contact in Walmart to get this to happen? Do we have to go to the CEO? I'm happy to go to the CEO.
I don't know. I'm about to send pictures of it because
Okay.
like the only thing is like if I could have gotten it in like I could have gotten it in black with hot pink piping, which I was like, and then it came in like a red color that I wasn't a fan of. And the one I have is like blue and orange, which is pretty.
Oh, blue and orange. Is that like fluoro orange?
No, I don't have it in front of me right now.
Okay. I like that combo.
Yeah, it's blue with like a little bit of orange in it. It's 2 different shades of blue. It's not bad. I like it.
Yeah.
But I should have gotten 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Hopefully.
And I haven't. I've been on the hunt at Walmart ever since, and I still can't. Still haven't found it.
Come on, Walmart. Also, again, happy to have you as a sponsor. Okay. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
As a sponsor. Yeah,
yeah, I know.
I just raced for like 20 minutes about a backpack that cost me $15 awesome. And has just held up spectacularly.
You need to call out the good, Seren, with the bad.
Yep.
So,
I mean, you asked, and it's not anywhere close to dying.
Absolutely. That's great. That's fantastic. I have an Under Armour backpack. It seems to be doing okay. I can't remember how old it is. It's not 6 years old. It's probably 3 or 4. Yeah, it's my go-to bag. It's very good. It hasn't got that square zip that you are mentioning. It's a bit more
and I picked that backpack specifically for the way it opened and for the big laptop pouch that fits an 11 by 17 poster sleeve. I was like, holy crap! And it fits my comic book. I'm like, it had everything I asked for. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
You're kidding me. What's happening? Yeah, no, fantastic. Well, New York NYCC should be so much fun. Can't wait to hear the reports back, Seren, on your travails.
VIP, baby. I will be.
Oh my gosh!
As well, maybe not Thursday. If there's any Spider panel on Thursday, I'm probably not going to get to it because Critical Role's going to be there. So, that's going to probably supersede a Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel
that's
Thursday.
fair enough. No, because I know that you love Critical Role.
And they're only going to be there Thursday and Friday, and they're only signing autographs on Thursday. So guess what I'm going to be doing all day Thursday? I'll be in line.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a bit of waiting will get you there. So that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. And speaking of games, Seren.
Yeah, let's get on to our game.
Keeping on track now, again, Seren has been kind enough to indulge me since I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse yet. So we're going to be looking at, as you've probably seen on the front of the tin, we're going to be looking at Marvel Champions. You've heard me talk about it a million gazillion times before. And we're going to focus in on Spider-Woman and her hero deck. Now, before we do that, Seren, for those who may be curious as to the game, look, there's a plethora of rules, but the high concept is, I don't want to dwell too much on it because, that could be a whole episode in itself. Basically, you have a hero going up against a villain. The villain, you can either go toe-to-toe with the villain, like attack them, or you can stop the villain, but at the same time, you have to stop the villain from completing their scheme. So they will they will scheme and you will thwart. So you have to keep that down. If they do complete the scheme, then you lose. And if they do beat you senseless till you're 0 points, you will lose as well. So there's 2 fronts that the heroes have to kind of manage all the time. And at all the same time, the only way that you can win is to obviously beat the villain down to 0. Now, the decks themselves, they comprise of your unique hero decks, which we've got on screen here. 15 cards or so. Of your heroes, and they're specific cards for the hero. Now, the rest of your deck is made up of other cards which you can chop and change. You can deck build however you want. The only criteria for all heroes typically is that you must pick one aspect, and there are 4 aspects. So there's red, yellow, green, blue. Blue is leadership. So the I guess the style that you play is that you bring out more allies, and it's with the help of allies that you can win. There's aggro. There's aggression, which is red, and that is pretty much, it will amp up all your attacking abilities, and it's basically you trying to bully and just win, you know, and hopefully the scheme won't win at the same time, you know. So you're just focusing on aggression. The other yellow one is justice, in which it's more leaning towards the scheming and the thwarting. So it will amp up your ability to stop the scheming, and the strategy behind that is obviously you won't lose, and it will give you a little bit more time to then pick away at the villain until there's 0. So that's justice, yellow. And the fourth one is protection, which is green, and the strategy behind that is actually the cards will help you defend more and keep you, basically essentially keep you alive more, so that you can do your thing.
And
so,
is protection just for you, or help any teammates you might be playing with?
Yes, for multiplayers, it will. You definitely, you can help out teammates, but there are some cards that are specifically for you as well. So you can offer. What happens in multiplayer? They can request an action and say if you have it available in your card, then you can play it. And that will help the other team. But there are certain cards which is just for you only, so you can't play an action that will, you know, that is just tailored for you, specifically for you. That is about it in a nutshell. And there are so many little intricacies with rules and such. With Jessica, it is quite different in the fact that Jessica is unique in that she can pick, as it says here. Sorry, listeners, we do have visuals on YouTube, so if you want to see this episode on YouTube, you can see the cards that we're showing. This is Jess in Alter Ego, and you can see for her deck build, you choose 2 aspects, which makes her so versatile.
I'm going to interrupt you here, because she can choose 2 aspects. Is she still the only character you can do that with, or have they? Because I know other characters have come out since she was introduced.
Yep.
So she's still the only one that can do both.
She is absolutely the only one still. So she's
That's
very unique,
cool.
very versatile. She's, you know, obviously one of my favorites to play. The only other one that comes close is Adam Warlock, and I haven't played him yet. But with Adam Warlock, you actually have to include all 4. But what that does is that since you're only allowed to have a 40 to 50 card deck, so he's got less. So if you know, technically, if you've got 40 cards and you minus your hero cards, which are 15, you've got 25 cards left to fill up. Mm-hmm. So Adam Warlock, he needs about 6 per aspects to fill. With Jessica Drew, she's got a greater amount. She's got 11 to 12 each for aspects, so a greater chance of drawing. There's a whole mathematical thing about being able to draw, you know, the probability of drawing your cards. But that is essentially it. So she gets 2 aspects. So you can actually have her use some leadership cards. So you can actually, and again, leadership cards is promoting the use of allies. Or, you know, you can pick her to do aggression and justice. So she's strong both in aggression and in justice, which is fantastic. One of the things I did forget to mention here, as you can see, so what's unique in this game is that the hero card itself is double-sided. So one side you have the alter ego, Jessica Drew, and you basically have recovery here 3. So the alter ego, when you're in alter ego, you'll never get damaged because...
And Jess is the only one who has this.
No. Everyone...
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a staple for everyone. So all alter egos, basically with alter ego, you heal up. So if you're running down to... So Jessica's starting points are 11. So that's her life points. If you're down to 2 points, you've got to flip to alter ego and you can heal up. Put 3 back on your points. But you have to yeah. The thing is though, you can only flip once per round. So you can't just keep on flipping back and forth just to do whatever. You have to commit for one round to do one or the other.
Got it.
And so here for Jessica's alter ego, all alter egos have a little special ability too. So apart from her double agent, which is very on theme, I think, for Jessica. So she's got 2 aspects. One of the actions that she's allowed to do, apart from just healing in the alter ego, is that she can look at the top card of any deck. So she can look at the top card of her deck or the top card of the villain deck. And it's really helpful because then you kind of know what's coming and you can kind of plan for it. So that's a little helpful little action that she has as alter ego. Alter egos are all different. So with Ant-Man, for instance, his little action is whenever you flip back to alter ego, on top of recovery, Ant-Man heals one other point. So everyone has a little bit of a different action as alter ego.
Cool.
Does that make sense, Sharon?
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's a really good. I can't say enough. It's a really fun game. Really
I know. I
game.
saw when she first came out, she had skyrocketed to the top of one of the best decks to play. And then she's gone down a little bit then because I guess some of the newer cards have better people. Apparently, Doctor Strange was broken. He's so powerful.
He's very powerful. But he could still. I mean, but as time goes on, I guess because more and more there's like 40 odd heroes now to choose from, and they're all so fun because they're all so thematic and their mechanics are very tailored and reflect the character themselves. So
you would say that the research into these characters has been thoroughly done to make them a lot like their common counterpart.
Oh, absolutely. So I've been playing. Cool. I mean, I've been playing a lot Quicksilver, and for instance, what happens Quicksilver? So if you do an action, say we've got on the screen here, we've got Jess, and she's in hero form. Just bearing in mind, so she's got 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense. Say if Jess wants to attack, then she'll attack for 1, and then you have to flip the card sideways, and that means the card's exhausted. So it basically means that Jess is exhausted, and she can't really do anything from her basic stats until the end of the round. But with Quicksilver, because he's so quick, he can like attack and he's exhausted. You flip him to his side, but once per round he can flip up again because he kind of recovers quickly. And so that's an example of how thematic they kind of make it. Cool. Another very simple one is Hulk. He's got no thwart because he's brainless, basically. And he's got 3 attacks, so he's got a big attack point and a big defense point because he's very durable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So sticking with Jess, so here it may not seem that flashy. She's got 1/1/1, so she can thwart for 1, attack for 1, and defend for 1. But the important thing here is her special superhuman agility, which again I think is on point for Jessica. She's so versatile. Seren, we've talked about how story-wise she can be and do anything. We know that she's super powered, she's street level, she can be cosmic. She's got it all. So this kind of says that this is to me reflects that. Now the ability here is that, say Seren, we've got a hand size of 5 and you've got 5 cards in front of you. And say, for instance, you've chosen Aggression and Justice to play in your deck.
Okay.
And you draw, and you're able to play a red card, an Aggression card, and you're able to play a Justice card, a yellow card. Then you add 1 point to each of these, thwart, attack, and defense for each different color card that you play. So Jessica is massively powerful. If you manage to play, and I'll get to it, Jessica actually has all 4 aspects in her deck. I'll get to that. But if you can play 4 cards of a different color, you get 4 + 1. So her attack will be up to 5. Her thwart will be up to 5. Her defense will be up to 5 for that round. So she can be very strong.
It sounds like she can be. It's all about luck of the draw, though, huh?
Luck of the draw and what you want to play as well. Like you might have cards in your hand, but again, I'll get to it. They all cost a different amount. So you can't play all of the cards in your hand. You can only play what you can afford, and I'll get to that as well. So that's very thematic, I think, for Jess. Now let's go through. I'm just mindful of the time here. Because I can go on forever. Okay, so quickly going through, this is a hero deck. Okay, so her hero deck, you see it's got a little face at the bottom right hand. This is unique to Jessica Drew, so you can't use this any other hero. You can't, this stays with.
And if someone else is playing Captain Marvel, you can't play this card, right?
Exactly. This becomes just a resource card, and what that is, and I'll mention it before I mention it. Cards cost something, so Captain Marvel costs 4 resources to play, so you can't put her onto the board unless you use 4 resources. Now each card is a resource. So on the bottom left you have a little icon here, and that means
and for the record, Carol has Jess in her deck.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what does that tell you?
Right.
By way of BFFs,
Right.
So each card is essentially one resource. So I would have to spend 4 cards, Seren, out of my 5 card hand to play Captain Marvel. So I essentially would have to. She costs a lot, but she's kind of worth it as well. So depending on how you play, or you might say, okay, I'll try to save her. I've got a few other cards which are less expensive and I want to play. So this is Captain Marvel. I won't go into the details because I'll just press for time here. But Captain Marvel, she's got 2 thwart and 2 attack. She's quite powerful as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Her hit point, so Jess has 11, but as an ally, Captain Marvel allies generally have a lower hit point. She's only got 3. So the idea is that they don't hang around forever. They're only there to help for a bit and then they go.
Got it.
So that's Captain Marvel. Now we have 2 of these cards. This is Finesse. So this is typical for some heroes where you can generate your own resource. So if I play this card for 2 points, 2 resource, and I put it on the board, I can exhaust it, which means I can flip it to its side, and this would cost 1. This will give me 1 extra resource. So it actually gives you a bit more resources to play with. So if you put this on the board, I can spend an aspect card. So there's 2 of those. Okay. This is one of the alter ego cards. So Jessica Drew's apartment, which is pretty cool. You can only play this when you're flipped over to Jess's alter ego, Jessica Drew. So you can't play it.
Oh, that looks like fun though. She goes like in super spy mode there.
Yes. Yeah.
It says exhaust Jessica Drew's apartment. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an aspect card and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck.
So this is good because what it really means is that it gives you an advantage. Like if you're short of a card, or if you want another card to use as a resource, or if you're searching for a card, this gives you the opportunity to find it. But this is only in alter ego mode. And I guess the idea is that when you're home, Jessica Drew's apartment, this is where you can, this is where you have your stuff. So
right. So, it also makes sense too, because then if you're like in your round and you've exhausted your round because you flipped the alter ego, it gives you something to do.
Exactly. Instead of just recover, instead of just heal, you can actually use your alter ego for something else as well. So it is actually very handy. A lot of people underestimate the alter ego. A lot of people say just stay in your superhero mode and that's enough. I don't believe that at all. You must flip back when you need to. Not only if you need to recover for health, but you need to do it if you want to find your cards, if you want to, use these abilities that they give you. So that's pretty cool. Now we get into some of her cool stuff here. This is her attack power, Venom Blast, of course, which Seren, it wasn't in Across the Spider-Verse, but it's here. So we've got
That's
it here.
the important part.
Yeah. So this is her hero card, but I will draw your attention to at the bottom. It says here, this card is both a Spider-Woman card and an aggression card. So you can count this as a red card. Okay.
So if you have a different hero, could you put this card in your deck?
No, but sorry, that is a great question, but no, you can't. That does make sense. I know your logic, but the idea here is that since this is an aggression card, you can count this card in this. So if you play that card, you can now add 1 attack, 1 thwart, 1 defense. You can amp up her stats.
So you can amp up the stats on the attack. So if you want to attack with your Venom Blast, instead of making it 1 attack, it becomes 2 attack.
Exactly. Plus, and not only that, so you have a basic attack. So if you play your Venom, if you play your Venom Blast first, that deals 5 damage. So that's pretty powerful already.
Yeah.
So you can play that, and then you can go back, and you can hit your enemy again for 1 plus another 1 because it was an aggression card. So 2. So you can hit for 7 with Jessica in one hit. But remember, once you use this basic stat, she's exhausted. So, but even when she's exhausted, she can use her cards. So that's fine. But essentially, that's a 7 hit with Venom Blasts. So that's good. So bear in mind. So you could also then say, for instance, you've got this, and say that the 2 aspects you've chosen are justice and protection. So you've actually got aggression, justice, and protection that you can use potentially in one round and amp up her basic stats up to 4. or 5
Wow.
if you're lucky. Yeah, so she's very powerful in that sense. So we get a couple of those. Here's another example. So this is another one called pheromones, which again, very Jessica Drew. And
Yep.
what this does, it stuns and confuses your enemy, which basically it kind of halts their progress for a bit. So a very important card if you want to have a little breather. If you don't want to be attacked by the villain, you stun them, and this is what it does. And again, this card, since it's blue, is also counted as a leadership card. So you can use this as another aspect. So essentially,
Very
just
cool.
yeah, she has all 4 aspects in her deck because you choose another 2 aspects. So there's a couple
That's
of
cool.
those. Again, this is her hero deck, again, her hero card, but it is a protection card too. So again, like you can play this, play the other card before, potentially, and play the other card before, and you've already got 3. You're amping up her basic stats by 3. So 3 plus 1, she's got 4 for attack, thwart, and defense, which is amazing.
That's cool. And then that contaminant immunity, because
Mhm.
she's immune to these things, could you
Yes.
do that? And then if you're exhausted, that can also help your recovery?
There are cards that help you. They call it ready, like you're
Mhm.
readying again after exhaustion. But this one doesn't, unfortunately. It does though, as it says for those that can see the visuals. She heals 3, so which is really good. She heals 3, and she gets a tough card, which is great. Tough cards mean that if you're attacked, you take no damage at all, and you just take the tough card away because it's
And
like a
actually,
little.
this way you could use this, and you could play this almost instead of going into her alter ego.
Yes, absolutely. So this is an ability for her to heal without having to flip. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
So
Cool.
yeah, this is great. And again, only costs 2. So again, a reminder: each card generally costs 1. Sometimes you'll see cards that will have 2 or 3, but you only have 1. So you need
This
to.
is they really did their work on her. I'm very proud of them. I've been
Oh,
saying that for a while, but like it's very impressive. They did so good with her. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, they did. It's really good. So this is 11 of 15 cards. We're nearly there. Again, so Jess has got all the aspects, as I mentioned. Her hero card is also a justice card here, inconspicuous. So this is her kind of almost spy nature, and her kind of. So here she's able to remove 3 threat from a scheme. So that's 3 threat is like thwarting. So she can take three threats off the scheme. So just drawing back in. So what we do, so whenever there's a scheme, going back to her hero card, that's a thwart. You want to thwart the scheme. So if there's 5 threats on a scheme, on her basic stat here, she can take 1 off. But with that other card I've just shown, the yellow one, she can take another 3 off with that card. So again, very much on point with Jessica being.
Cool.
She also has a spy trait, which she has a spy trait with same as Nick Fury, same as Mockingbird, same as Black Widow. So she's in that mold, and there are cards that only spies can play. So that's.
I would like to say too, I want to point this out as we've gone through. There
Mhm.
are little quotes at the
Oh,
bottom
yeah,
of each of
yeah.
these cards from the comics, which is very
Yep.
cool.
Yes, they're called flavor texts, and
Yeah, I
they're
love
very
them.
fun to read. Yeah. So just a couple here. So this is what you were talking about, Seren. This is self-propelled glide. So if you imagine Jessica Drew's glider wings, she gains the aerial trait. So again, there are cards that only
She
aerial people.
was now. Am I if I'm remembering correctly from what I had scoured the internet for? She was the first character to have this trait, and everyone was like, "I don't get it." But then I think other characters have it now, and it can actually like.
They came later. You're right. I think so. Spectrum came out later, and she's aerial based. Nova came out later. He's aerial based. What has just been announced is Angel from the X-Men, and he's like a breakthrough because his deck and the cards that come with his pack have so much aerial cards to them. So I can't wait to play those aerial cards with Jessica. So again, aerial will give you other things, like it will give you, since they can fly, they're less prone to damage, that sort of thing. They can swoop in and attack, differing amounts. So with this, not only does Jessica get aerial, but she readies, as you mentioned, Seren. So if she's exhausted after attacking or thwarting, you play this card and she's back up again. You flip the card and she's ready, and she can thwart and attack again if you want.
Very cool. I'm surprised Carol doesn't have this card, but that's okay.
Yeah, Carol. I'm just trying to scan. I'm not sure if she's got a ready card. Carol does have aerial. She does.
Oh, she does. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can pay for a card that will give her aerial. Which is funny because I would have thought that she would have innately had aerial because she's, she can fly, right? So anyway, so those are the 15.
She's got 3 of those. She's got a bunch of those.
Yeah, they're very handy. Oh my gosh, so many times I've had to use them because you just want to have that one more go. And this card allows you to ready up your character, and you have one more shot at it. You can attack again. You can, and again in the round. Say for instance, if you've played 4 cards and your base stats are up to 5, 5, 5, you can attack for 5. Then you get exhausted, and then if you play this card, you can ready up again and attack again for 5. So that's 10. You can damage for 10.
Wild.
Or you can, yeah. So that's why Jess is pretty powerful in that sense.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that because there are other cards, obligations, and her nemesis. Yeah.
I know you're on the crunch, but I gotta bring this up because I hear people talk about it. Well, not here. I've read people talking about it, especially more when Jess first came out, but since then too. But apparently there is a build. You would switch out the Carol card for the Agent Coulson card, and there's a way that you can get Jess to keep bringing Coulson back into play. And I guess his card is really powerful, but you can bring Agent Coulson back into play, and it'll annihilate the board or something like that.
Yeah, there are some combinations. I haven't figured out all the combos yet, but you can get cards to work in tandem with other cards, and there are I guess they're loopholes.
Yes, Infinite Coulson.
Yeah, I haven't managed to catch Infinite Coulson. Coulson is powerful. Because he actually, whenever he comes out, you draw out a card, a preparation card, which is again a very specific kind of card. Yes. There are some loops. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. There's one I think with Iron Man, and his armor. You can, there are so many combos. It's pretty fun when you do find them, and if you can get them to line up and work, it is so much fun to play. So I'll have to let me have a little think about that, Seren, as well. I know there are some combos I played with Jess. Oh, there is. Okay, one.
I want to say it's Justin's protection for Coulson.
Could be, yeah. Justice is Coulson's Justice. He's yellow. So shield. There's a whole set of shield cards, and they all work with each other as well. With Jess, with leadership, what I've found is awesome. With leadership, there's a card. It's called Get All Out, and it is you add the sum of your thwart, attack, and defense, and you use that. So you could effectively, and there's another card called Morale Boost, which amps everything up 1 as well. So technically, in a perfectly aligned system, you can actually play all 4 cards, aspect cards, get this up to 5, 5, 5, and you play that blue card, which is Morale Boost, so up to 6, 6, 6. And then you play the other card, which is Get All Out. And that means you deal 18 damage. That's huge.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so you can find combos, and you can just kind of, if you want to go that way, some people tailor their decks based on combos. They start with, I want to make sure this combo will come out, and they build their decks around that. I tend to build my decks thematically. The allies I pick for Jess would be characters I think would hang around Jess, but obviously you don't have to do that. I mean, it's just you can do whatever you want with your deck, which is really good. Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah,
do you have more fun playing with people or playing alone with Jess?
Well, I do. I do love both of them. I have played. Yeah, I'm in a games night, and it is very fun. It's a very different dynamic with 3 people, because everything's kind of times 3. So the scheme is 3 times the amount than if you play solo. I do solo is really fun. I don't know. I get to do that just and go at my own pace and have fun. But yeah, multiplayer I just absolutely love it. It's a different ball game altogether. So yeah, I would highly recommend both. The more you go, like the 4 people, the longer the game will be. So if you want to go for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, then all for it. But a solo game, if you're really good or if you're really bad, can go from like 20 minutes up to. I've played about 2 hours on a solo game because it's been a hard slog. So it's just so diverse, so versatile, this game. It's really good. Yeah.
I'm glad you are loving it. So there's your free endorsement for Marvel Champions, everyone.
Exactly. Fantasy Flight Games, again, open to sponsorship.
Yeah. I have the game. I haven't played it or opened the boxes yet.
Seren, there's an online version. I'd love to get on and I'd love to play with you.
We'll have to. Maybe we'll have to do that, and we'll have to do like a screen share and do one of our.
Yep.
You could teach me how to play. Would you all like to see that, Spider Babies?
Yeah,
Ray teaches me how to play Marvel Champions online.
Oh, you'll be smashing it before you know it. And the really good thing is that in the core set, like Rhino is almost like he's the punching bag. He's the guy that you test your decks out on. He's the guy that, for beginners you try out. So we can do Rhino, and that will give you a really good understanding of like how the game rolls. But yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to plan that one maybe later in the summer after the babies come.
Yes. Yes.
And we have a minute. The other thing is, we will get to Secret Invasion, everyone.
We will.
Life happened.
And Across the Spider-Verse. We'll get in a full review of that as well. I will say it. But yeah, things that are a little bumpy at the moment. Seren, like you and I both. So Spider Babies, please hang tight. Thank you so much. Again, I'll reassess the Patreon because I don't want to be taking money from if we don't release content. So happy to freeze it. But yeah, you may not see us, every few weeks or so, but we are around. We will get to coming back. I just want to throw that out there. Yeah.
We will work on it when things settle down a little bit on both ends. But until then,
as always, to know her is to fear her.
If you'd like to contact us with your thoughts on Spider-Woman and her amazing series, you can drop us a line at spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Spider-Woman Pod or To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. Catch us on Twitter at Spider-Woman Daily or on Discord, Tumblr, and Podchaser. Look for all our links to our social platforms in the show notes.
We are also proud members of The Collective, a supergroup of podcasters dedicated to covering all the characters and news in comics and beyond. Search for #TheCollectiveNet on Twitter to see the latest on all the shows, or click on the link provided in our episodes to give you a list of who's part of The Collective. Finally, please consider giving us a rating on either Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Whether it be to sing your praises or give us pointers on how to improve the show, any ratings will help cast our web further and potentially reach out to more spider babies out there.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episode. But until then, remember, to know her is to fear her.
Spider-Woman and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Material used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only, under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.